Hey, that's what y'all, man. What was we talking about again, Mike? Oh, we was talking about the guy Eric.
You're raising your neighborhood, raising the.
So, like I said, I have a friend of mine. His name's Eric. He's a Bobo, and what's unique about Eric is that he was raised around a whole lot of black folks. You know, I mean, he went to school with black folks. He lived around black folks, so he adopted the culture of a lot of black folks. And whenever we would see her, you know, we would regard him as one of us because he's actually really a nice guy, you know. So um, Eric, he actually married a black woman, and you know, later on they had two children. They had two boys. So one of the boys, you know, has stringy hair, you know, like Bobo, and his other son had a different texture of hair because I can't explain it, but it's thicker. You know what I mean? So now when his kids were growing up, you know, one of the boys he could actually pass for a Bobo because of his complexion and the texture of his hair. So we're talking about what do we think about interracial kids growing up in today's society? And to me, you know, I would think that, you know, growing up having, you know, mixed parents, you know, and you know, going to school with other kids, you know, and it's like, I think today it's accepted more than maybe like 20 years ago because, you know, maybe 20 years ago, it would have been a lot of scrutiny because here it is, you got this kid, you don't know what he is, you don't know what his race is.
I don't know, Mike, because we're talking about like 20 years ago. That's 2002.
Yeah.
I think 2002 people were starting to adapt
Mm.
with the mix, but not realizing, oh, okay, they don't do research with their historical background, knowing that they already tainted in it. You know what I'm saying? But I think interracial marriages and interracial kids were starting to blend in because it's blended in the hip hop culture.
Yeah.
Because you started seeing white people getting hit. You know what I'm saying? With the
Mm.
Beastie Boys, Eminem,
Mm.
Third Base. You feel what I'm saying?
Pants all around the ass and all that.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of them out.
Right.
You know, we talking about interracial kids, how we believe they fitting in with today's society, and I think today.
Oh, they fit in fine
they're
today.
Right, that's
more.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They fit
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
blend in perfect.
they're accepting more. But what I'm saying is, 20 years ago, it would have been a problem because, like I said, 20 years or maybe even 30 years ago.
30, I would say 30.
I would say 30.
Yeah,
I would say
well
20.
maybe
30.
let's go back to 10 years. You know, so maybe 30 years ago, you have these interracial kids coming in, and you don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Because you look like me, but you have stringy hair. So I'm like, what are you? You know what I mean? So, but today, I don't think it really matters. I think because the newer generation, you know, it's like they have their own thing going on today. You know, the newer generation, yeah, they read the history books, but I don't think they really care about that. You know what I mean? The newer generation, it's they have their own vibe, they have their own thing going on, and they they usually criticize older folks by saying, look, you know, that was the past. And it's like the older folks and the younger folks are always on that disconnect because the younger folks today don't really give a damn about history. They don't care about where
Whether
it
it's
came
black,
from.
white, or whatever, don't matter.
Yeah,
They don't care about history.
They really don't care.
What do you think about a
history.
Mr. Bobo couple adopting black children?
Oh, shit. You want to teach them
That's-
white propaganda?
Yeah. So that's a difficult question to answer.
Hell yeah.
It is because, you know, there's so many variables. Well, first I would need to know about Mr. Bobo and why he's doing it. Is he doing it for, you know, monetary gain? Is he doing it for recognition? Is he doing it to try to fit in to say, hey, I got black friends? Or is he doing it because it's in his heart. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different
Okay.
variables.
When I was married to Miss Bobo, I lived in Colombia. There was a lot of interracial couples out there.
Right.
Okay, there was a lot of white. And some of the Bobo couples that I talked to, more answers than none, they just wanted a child. They couldn't have one. They tried to, matter of fact, they tried to adopt children from Baltimore City and went through so much hell. A lot of them went in D.C. and got children.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted a child. They didn't give a damn was it purple, green, yellow. It didn't matter. They wanted a child. And the ones that I did know, they treated that child just like it was their family. And if the family didn't want to accept it, guess what? I've seen it happen. They didn't even go around it. You accept me, you accept my child. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they just wanted a child. They didn't care. Now, on the other side of the coin, people say, well, one of the reasons I heard they had a hard time in Baltimore City is because you couldn't teach them their culture.
Facts. You can't teach a black man how to be a black
I
man.
understand that. I'm just saying. That's one of the things I heard.
So I want to chime in on that because that may be a fact somewhere, but honestly, and this is my opinion, we don't have our own culture anyway.
Right.
Anything that we
Mhm.
have, it ain't ours.
Right?
It ain't ours.
Mm-hmm.
You know what really pisses me off? It pisses me off when I see black folks dressed in green on St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like looking at these people, not offending anyone that may be listening and wear green, but the thing is, that's not our culture. That's not ours. Why are you wearing that? It's not ours. Now, if you had on green like any day of the week, that's fine. But when I see black folks, whether it's men or women, out there in all of this green and partying and doing all this stuff, eating your cabbage and all of that, you know, and I'm
Corned
like,
beef and cabbage.
We're not Irish.
I almost got in trouble in the cafeteria this year, St. Patrick's Day.
Wow.
I was up there, and they said, "Hey, Bob, you gonna put on a green hat? And you gonna put on?" I said, "You ever seen a goddamn black Irishman?"
Oh boy.
They looked at me, and I said, "Oh, Bob, well, by the time I can keep walking, then."
but that's my whole point. it's we're talking about culture, right? We don't have culture.
And I got a harder stare from the blacks than I did from the Bobos.
Word.
Well, but
They just trying to fit in. That's all.
Well, no, it's culture, man. You don't see any other races celebrating Black History Month. You know, you don't see anyone else adapting to our culture.
Define Black History Month. Let me ask y'all this. People use that word very loosely. Black. Let's just look up the word black. Let's look up the word black.
What are you talking about, shoe polish?
The color black.
Mm-hmm.
Look up the color word black and tell me what it means.
I didn't look it up, but I have an idea. It's going to say darkness. It's going to say evil.
Mhm.
It's going to say opposite of
Mhm.
white.
Mm-hmm. That's purity.
It's going opposite of white.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to say, and you're actually going to see, you're actually going to see the word. I don't know if they're going to have black folks in there. Often referred to black folks in there.
Mr. Paul, what is black?
Of the very darkest color, owing to the absence of or complete opposite of light. The opposite of white.
That's what I said. The opposite of white. You know, and if you look up white, it's going to say pure and
Let's look up
slow.
the terminology of the word white.
Okay.
Let's look at white.
It's going to say pure in its purest
Yeah, it's
form.
pure. In its
Pure.
pure form. Right.
So we are the opposite of pure. That's the label that they
But see,
give.
that's the one I'm saying. Like, why would we want to accept that ugly word? The last time I checked, my skin color don't look like that, though. My cargo pants look
Yeah,
like that.
I'm brown.
Right, I'm brown.
Yeah.
Last time I
I'm
checked.
brown too.
Having the color of new snow or milk.
Mm.
And it should say pure.
What color is white? Let's see what this says.
Pure as snow.
White is the brightest color, the lightest color, and is aromatically having no blue. It is the color of objects such as snow, chalk, milk. It is the opposite of black. White objects fully reflect and scatter all the visible wavelengths of light. Is white a natural color? If color is solely the way physics described it, the visible spectrum of light waves, the black and the white, are outcasts and don't come as true physical colors.
See what I'm saying? They make it seem like that color is so
It's-
pure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's untouchable. But that's what I'm saying. I don't celebrate Black history. I study history, his story, his version of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I draw my own conclusion on what's going on, what I'm looking at, or what I'm reading. And believe it or not, a lot of people define what is Black history. What the Atlantic slave trade? That's what the most
Mm-hmm.
But people don't understand and realize, yo, you got African in your blood. You got African in your blood.
White represent mainly positive values such as purity, balance, or innocent. It also makes us think of the calm and peace and serenity. It provides light and gives a fresh feeling. Gray color is a rather negative value since it is a dull color. It's like saying the same close to black. Okay, gray.
So what you saying is, Bobos can't do no wrong.
Right. Now here's another one. Does pure white exist? Yes, for any given understanding of what pure white means. It is possible to produce an illumination light field which has that color, using a combination of red, green, and blue lights, but there are multiple differences in equal value understanding of what pure white means. What is white personalities?
Oh, this gonna be good.
Being a personality color white means you have flawless standards of hygiene and cleanliness. In other words, if you're black, you're dirty. Didn't say that. That's me. You're a tidy and neat person who can easily get overwhelmed in a cluttered workspace or home. Because of that, you may also have too high expectations for yourself and others, making you an overly critical person.
It can't be touched, even in the workforce.
That's right.
Can't be touched, even in the workforce. It basically is culturally biased from the jump, from the start. So this none of this shit was designed for us from the break.
Right.
Now you gotta have some type of form of education, or you have to know somebody just to get by.
Let me see it. I like this one. What the hell is this? What code is white? Semicolon FFFFFFF. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. Is that a code?
I don't know. It must be a code. It must be.
Cheat code.
There's a good one. What is the color of God?
Oh shit.
God is not a human.
Facts.
The promises plainly states, Jesus himself said that God is spirit. Whether or not spirit can possess the property of color, I do not know. But if so, we are certainly not told which color. Besides that, both the Old and New Testament insist that God is invisible to human beings.
What color you think is God? Well, the Son of God.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what color you think the Son of God is? Do you think that Michelangelo color of Jesus Christ is accurate, or is that inaccurate?
Well, the thing is, so what we know today is someone else's depiction. So basically, whoever wrote whatever versions of the Bible, they're going to put down their depiction. You know, I see paintings of the Son of God as being Mr. Bobo with blue eyes and long stringy hair. You know, I see these pictures everywhere. You know, I know what I read in the Bible. The
Mm-hmm.
Bible didn't say he had
Mhm.
blue eyes. It
Right.
didn't say he had long stringy hair. He had
But
says he
being
had,
European, he was dark anyway. The sun.
absolutely.
Okay, so come on.
So that question right there is like, okay, you know, honestly, I don't know because there's so many different depictions.
You know, there's so much negatives in here about the color black. What color is 000? Guess what the answer is?
-0.
Black.
Shit, that's derogatory as hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Now that shit sound racist.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And also, like I said, you know, if you go over to Mr. Bobo's house, he's gonna have a picture of the Son of God as a white guy, blue eyes, long stringy hair. If you go over to our relatives' home, they're gonna have the Son of God as a black man, and it's like, you know, okay. And that's why I say, I mean, according to what I read, yes, I would agree with my relatives' picture and their depiction
Mm-hmm.
because it's in the Bible.
You know what? I beg to differ on what you said on your last statement because I've been to the churches all my life and I fucking hated it. And you know when you go to church, you gotta find shit to do to make shit fun. But then when you're young, you don't care about it. But then when you get baptized and you give your tithes and all this malarkey that comes to the church. But if the churches know the truth about the Son of God, as well as God of Israel, or whatever God is out there, right? If you know it's cat as far as the color of Son of God, why is you still wanting to play that shit in the fucking churches? Please explain that to me, why? I don't get it. First of all, the picture is totally cat, for one. It is written in the last endings of the book of Revelations. Look it up, y'all. Y'all better read that book of Revelations because we're going through trials and tribulation right now. Read it. It's very interesting. It's about the end of days. But it has a description on the color of the Son of God. His feet were the color of brass. His hair was like wool. What person you know has wool hair?
What do you think about that? How you darken your skin?
I don't know, but that shit look crazy as hell. I don't know, but that's the part that people don't understand, man. Like, let's just take my grandma, okay? My grandma was from the country, from Lancaster, Virginia, right? She don't even define the color of Son of God. She'll have that bullshit Michelangelo picture posted on her wall, and I'll be like, Grandma. She was like, what, Kareem? You know that